With the end of May upon us, I figured it'd be appropriate to take a look at the 2020 college football season. I will be going through conference by conference, breaking down the standings on a simulation that I did. I did 5 simulations per game per week. Now, I would like to note that for these small conferences, I did not mess with the conference games in terms of like a Oklahoma Kansas type game that could be an upset, but probably won't be. But the Power 5, I will be adjusting that. Alright, so let me start with the Golden Knights of UCF. In a simulation, they went 9-3 and 7-1 in the AAC. I have them going 10-2. The simulation had them beating North Carolina, which in my predictions are reversed. And then the simulation also had FIU and Georgia Tech beating them, something I also reversed in my simulation in my personal predictions. Now let's move on to the midshipmen. The simulation had them going 8-4 and 6-2 in the conference. I have them going 9-3. In the simulation, it had Lafayette College beating them. I do not believe that'll happen. And they had them beating Notre Dame, and I do not believe Navy is going to beat Notre Dame. I have them beating Army at the end of the year. I'm just going to throw that in there. And Air Force, the simulation had Air Force beating Navy, and I also changed that. All right, South Florida, 9-3 in the simulation, 6-2 in the conference. I have them going 8-4. The simulation had them beating Texas. I switched that. SMU. The simulation did not like SMU. They had them going 6-6 with losses to Texas State, TCU, and some other very questionable losses. I have them going 9-3. I believe that they're going to be a better team. I don't see any way they lose to Texas State. Next, the Bearcats. The simulation had them going 6-6, much like SMU. They did not like Cincinnati. 5-3 in the AAC. I have them going 8-4. The simulation had them losing to Western Michigan and Miami of Ohio, but had them beating Nebraska. 3 things that I reversed. Tulane, 5-7, 4-4. I have them also going 5-7 and 4-4. Temple, 7-5 and 4-4. I have them going 8-4. The simulation had them beating Miami, which I believe they will. They had them beating Rutgers. I believe they will. And the one I reversed in my predictions was they had Temple losing to UMass, and I do not believe that'll happen. Next, Houston Cougars, 6-6 and 3-5. I also have them 6-6 and 3-5. Memphis, 4-8 and 2-6 in the conference. I have them going 5-7. The simulation had them beating Arkansas State. I agree with. The simulation also had them losing to a very bad team from UT Martin, I believe it was. I do not believe they're going to lose to UT Martin. I don't see that happening at all. Alright, next, East Carolina, 3-9 and 2-6. I have the same. Tulsa, 2-10, 0-8, 2-10, 0-8, and my predictions, all the same. I think the big question for Central Florida is it going to matter if Dylan Gabriel or Mackenzie Milton is quarterback? I do not believe it'll make much of a difference. SMU, can they build on last year's success, and can South Florida with their new coach turn it around? Bearcats as well, can they continue to build on last year's success? Will Memphis take a dive with a new coach? That's really all I have to say about the AAC. I think it'll be a really... I have UCF and honestly SMU in the conference title game. Remember, they're dropping out of divisions this year as Connecticut left for the independents because they went back to the Big East in other sports. So there is no more divisions. Everyone plays 8 games and the top 2 teams play each other. Personally, that's a strategy that I prefer in most conferences. I will be doing 9 more of these videos for the other 9 conferences and the independents. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, share, as always.